Good morning. Welcome to the Lorain County Board of Commissioners meeting of September 15th, 2021. This meeting will now come to order. We will rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And our inspirational word for the day comes from Matthew. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment.
Thank you, Commissioner Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Here.
Commissioner Moore,
Excused absence.
Commissioner Lundy.
I'm here.
Okay, we'll begin with A, resolutions.
Number 1, investments.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Hung,
Yes.
Lundy.
Aye.
Number 2, appropriations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Number 3, transfers.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
No advancements, repayments. Number 5, requisitions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
No travel. Number 7, bills.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board?
Do we just have 1 week without bills? No. It just doesn't happen around here. It's always on the agenda. Okay.
And you're going to complain about it.
Yeah, I know, like I do at home.
And I can say there was no Amazon this week.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, the next item of business is number 8, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within the jurisdiction of the Lorain County Board of Commissioners. At the conclusion of today's board meeting, the commissioners may recess into an executive session to discuss personnel, new hires, and board appointments. The next item of business is number 9. I move to approve and waive the reading of the meeting minutes of August 24th and September 1st, 2021.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
The next item of business is number 10. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Amend resolution number 21-540, adopted September 1st, 2021. Number 3, adjusting the salaries of Lorain Municipal Court employees representing the county's 2/5 share. Bianca Viller, bailiff of Judge Uel, was incorrect at $910.90 and should state $927.77 is the new biweekly rate effective January 1, 2021.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, the next item of business is number 11. Please read the resolution into the record.
Enter into an agreement with Campana Insurance of Lorain effective October 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2023 as the county's representative for supplemental 125 insurance benefits for county employees.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, the next item of business is number 12. Move to table.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Moving on to stormwater. The next item of business is number 13. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Receive the engineer's map, profiles, schedule reports on the Batten House lateral number 2, New Russia and Amherst Township. Said final hearing is scheduled on October 19th, 2021 at 9:30 a.m.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Okay. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, the Office of the Engineer, the next item of business is number 14. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Amend resolution number 21-59, adopted January 27th, 2021, approving and entering into a contract with Roniak Paving, Inc., Burton, Ohio, in the amount of $992,350 for the Columbia West River Road resurfacing project, Columbia Township. Said amendment is to reflect the total local share will be $160,000 in the amount, or to be paid from account number engineer due to ODOT safety funding.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? And I will note the account number is on the resolution.
Okay.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, the next item of business is number 15.
Awarding a contract with Mastermind LLC in the amount of $7,000 to complete a speed zone study for 5 locations in Lorain County. CEAO has approved funding with Ohio Safety Study Program for fiscal year 2022 for 90% up to $1,400 per location to be paid from the account number that is stated in the resolution.
Yes, ma'am. Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board?
I just have never known any driver in Lorain County to ever exceed the speed limit, so I'm surprised that we need to do this.
Does not happen, Deputy
Never
Montez.
happens, right?
No.
Okay.
And the account number is on the resolution for the public's information. Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to the Office of the Sheriff, the next item of business is number 16.
All right. Receive and file annual report submitted of all fines and costs collected for the year next preceding September 3rd, 2021, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 311.16 in the amount of $197,285.99.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, we're now at the lobby portion of our meeting. In order to speak on the topic of choice, you have had to fill out a slip and turn it into the clerk. Madam Clerk, do we have any slips today?
No.
Okay, seeing no slips, we will move on to reports. Interim County Administrator, Mr. Rob Weber, has indicated he has no report today. Moving on to Assistant County Prosecutor Dan Petticord.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have no report today either. Oh, I apologize. There is one piece of pending litigation that I would like to discuss in executive session if the board moves into executive session.
Okay, thank you. And then we'll move on to Commissioner's report. I'm kind of going unscripted here. We received a thank you card from the 4-H members, Grace Dennis, and I will read her thank you card. It says, "Dear Lorain County Commissioners, thank you for the trophy donation. I have shown goats for 5 years. I really enjoy showing them. Hope to see you at the fair next year." So Grace, thank you for your card, and if you want to email in a picture to the office, we will post it on Facebook of your goats and your trophy. So thank you. That concludes my report. Commissioner Lundy.
Yeah, the 4-H program, just such a great program for our youth, and I know the board throughout the years has supported the 4-H programs, providing the trophies, and obviously provided additional funding this year, and it's always nice when you get those cards from the kids. They really enjoy that whole program and couldn't think of a better program for our youth in the community, that's for sure. Also, it's been a while since we met because we didn't meet the week of Labor Day, and I hope everyone enjoyed their Labor Day. As I always say, there's a reason why so many workers in this country are able to go home each day with limbs attached and actually go home to their families. And there's a reason why we all have a reasonable work week and we have better health care coverage. So just think about those things when you think about the important role that labor has played in our country, in our day in and day out work life. Had the opportunity to speak at the NOACA annual reporting meeting in Cleveland on Friday. Administrator Fernandez from the Federal Transit Administration was the main speaker there. Very well attended, probably had about 300 people from the region who showed up for that. And it's just always great to get everybody in the room together talking about our transportation needs in the county. Most importantly, talking about how best to connect people to jobs and their employers. Had the opportunity to attend a lakefront discussion that was coordinated by Congresswoman Capter's office, Armin Budish from Cuyahoga County, some representatives from some of the other neighboring counties were on that discussion as well too, primarily talking about lakefront erosion and the challenges that we face. It's important to remind everybody that the Board of Commissioners has in fact provided funding to our lakefront communities so that they can begin putting together a special improvement district that will make it possible for them to bundle the needs, the financial needs, then go to the market and be able to provide some good financing for folks who need to deal with lakefront erosion. That then ends up being applied to their property tax, but then it can be spread over a period of, I believe, 25 years, which makes it more affordable for everybody to do. But we certainly need to protect our shoreline. A lot of discussion about greater access to the lakefront as well, too. Also sat in on the Lorain County Corrections Planning Board meeting the other day, and there was a report that was made by Andy Lobenthal over at our county jail that just brings to light the severity of the epidemic that this county faces and why it's so important that when we work through our investments with the Rescue Act dollars that we never lose sight of the epidemic that is very prevalent during the pandemic and how the pandemic has made the problem even worse. But what was reported at the Lorain County Corrections Planning Board meeting by Lobenthal was that 24% of the inmates in our county jail are detoxing at our county jail. And I don't know anybody who ever built a jail in this country that thought that jails were going to be detox centers. About 24% of the inmates, it's probably about 100 a month that are detoxing in our jail. And 39% of the inmates need mental health assistance. That's probably about 160. What that also points out is the co-occurring issues. More than likely, if you have an addiction issue, you probably have a mental health issue. If you have a mental health issue, there's a strong likelihood that there's an addiction issue that's also taking place. But, this board stepped up a couple weeks ago, invested $4 million into the one-stop stabilization center that's so badly needed in this county. And this is just an example of how we need to get to people as soon as possible so that they don't end up in our corrections system. So it's just, those numbers are quite disturbing to me. 24% detoxing in our jails, up to 39% receiving mental health assistance in our jails. I want to wish the best of luck to the Apple Festival Committee that kicks off this weekend in Lorain County. It's always great on Friday when everybody's pouring out of our buildings here and hitting all the great food samplings downtown. I have a chance to participate in that. Linda Brown has asked me to participate emceeing one of the events on Saturday. So we hope you'll come out to the festival. I know I always enjoy it, as long as the bees aren't too active at the Apple Festival, which they have a tendency to be. But so hope you'll come out and attend that as well, too. And that completes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Lundy. Our next item of business is F, the clerk's report. Madam Clerk, do you have a report today?
I do not.
Okay, the next item of business is G, board correspondence. I move to waive the reading of the board correspondence due to an executive session we have scheduled.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, and at this time, I move to adjourn into executive session to discuss personnel issues, employment and new hires, and pending litigation with Mr. Petticord.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
We have returned from executive session, and our meeting is back in session. I move to untable agenda item number 12.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record, agenda item number 12.
Authorize a settlement agreement with Columbia Local School District in Lorraine County Common Pleas Court, case number 20CV202279. Approve a compensation agreement with Columbia Local School District and approve a compensation agreement with Strongsville City Schools. Authorize related actions pursuant to ORC 5709.7 through 5709.81 and 5709.85.
Okay, move to approve.
Second.
And the motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Commissioner?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. On behalf of the Lorraine County Board of Commissioners, I'd like to state the following. The board is pleased to announce a settlement is reached with the Columbia School District that will bring many public improvements to Columbia Township. By working through issues, the Board of Commissioners and School Board were able to enhance the economic future of our communities. Now, through the settlement agreement, the county and school district will enter into a compensation agreement that improves the school's allocation of resources from the initial proposal. The extension of sewers down Boone Road from Snell to State Route 82 and eventually up and down State Route 82 from the county line to East River Road will eliminate the major roadblock to good, solid commercial development along this very key corridor, creating jobs and investments that will enhance the tax base long-term. The agreement also allocates funds for the reconstruction of Boone and Snell roads and a bridge replacement on Snell Road. $1 million can be available to the Township of Columbia for a new fire station if the developments Emerald Woods, Baker Creek, and Creek Ridge perform as expected. Lastly, approximately $800,000 in stormwater management through stream restoration can be completed as well. This agreement addresses the public needs of health and safety, provides economic opportunities, and will expand the tax base for our community. This is an exciting day to get this done.
Is. And if I may add, just a special thank you to Don Romanchik, our director up in Stormwater, and his entire team up there. I know you guys worked very hard on it, and we really appreciate all the hard work and effort you put into getting this done. So thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to thank them as well, too, for their efforts and for everybody coming together and getting this done. This is, I think, a very significant announcement for the county.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, moving on. I move to approve the personnel summary sheet.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Okay, and meeting announcements. The next regularly scheduled board meeting is Wednesday, September 22nd at 9:30 a.m. And also would like to send out some special get wells to our clerk, Teresa Upton. We miss you dearly, Teresa, and thank you to Jessica for filling in this week. But feel better soon, Teresa. We miss you, and we will see you soon and be bugging you on the phone, I'm sure, at some point here. So, okay, is there any further business for this board?
None at this time.
Okay, since there's no further business, this meeting is adjourned.